Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's spotlight session with our winner from December Writing Challenge. Her name is Desiree Brown, and she's an educator, a solo female traveler, and a lifelong learner.
Mhm.
Um, and also on a mission to build a community of women over 50 who want to start over. And I'm so
Mhm.
excited to hear your story. Welcome, Desiree. Maybe.
Thank you, Yana. Thank you. So good to meet you, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining this. I'm sure it's going to be exciting. But let's start maybe with a little a bit of introduction of
Mhm.
yourself. Tell us a little bit more about your background.
Right. Well, as you know, I am over 50. I'm actually 58. And well, about 58 years ago, I was born in this really, really small island in the Caribbean, very famous for music, called Jamaica. And I remember, yeah, the first time I went on a plane was when I was 3 years old. Anyway, so I spent most of my time growing up in Jamaica, and I left Jamaica in 1988 when I was about 22, and I had to go away all by myself to Belgium. I studied, did all my, lots of stuff, ended up finding a partner, and had to start over. We split up, we traveled together, we split up. Ended up starting over many times after that on my own. And that long journey, I've lived in about maybe 11 different countries. And professionally, what I do is I'm an educator in international schools, and I'm a math teacher by profession. So that's what I do. That's my 9 to 5 job. So I've been doing that for quite a long time, and I've done that in so many different countries. And in that time, I've also taken sabbaticals. There are times when I just need a break and I wanted to start over. So I've taken a year off in Senegal. I also took a year off during the pandemic. Yeah, so that's pretty much my journey. And now I'm in Angola, and I'll be here for another 6 months, and then I'm going to start a new chapter, which does not involve teaching mathematics. So that my plan is just to continue writing, coaching, and traveling. So that's my new chapter about to start in about 5, 6 months, and I'm really excited about that.
So more focus on yourself and not so
For
much on
sure.
work.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
interesting. It got me thinking. A lot of people think that if they do something like that, it's kind of a selfish thing or something that is
Mhm.
not really a good. But actually, I think we have to start there and focus on ourselves and pay
Yeah.
attention and take care of ourselves first so that we can
Absolutely. Yeah.
more.
Um, Nobody else is going to take care of you. As harsh as that sounds, you're responsible for you. And as they say, nobody's coming to rescue you.
Yep. Yes, and there's a reason why on the airplanes there's this kind of instruction, put the mask
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
yourself first.
Exactly. Put your mask on first before anybody else's. Yeah, for
Exactly.
sure. Good point.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's you mentioned the new phase in your life.
Mhm.
Does it involve Substack?
Of
Maybe.
course, of course. I'm so glad I discovered Substack. Yeah, so I started on Substack. I'm trying to remember what actually, I think it was probably an article on Medium, because I used to write on Medium. Well, I still do, but not as often as as before. And I decided to check out Substack. And because I want to help other women, reinvent their lives and start over, I was just thinking of starting a newsletter, and I was trying to find different platforms on which to do that. And Substack came up. I checked out all the others, and I think Substack, made the most sense for where I am in my stage of having a newsletter. Yeah, and so far it's been great. I hope it stays that way, but things always change. But I'm going to just appreciate it as it is now. I really love it. I've met so many interesting people, and I'm actually talking to one of them right now.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Really, yeah, I'm also impressed about the community on Substack. It's like I never seen something like that anywhere else. I also
I
come
know.
from Medium, and also I'm also trying social media, but it's nothing like Substack. It's really
Yeah,
authentic conversations and meaningful connections you can build.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So your Substack, you're trying to help other women like
Mhm.
reinvent their lives and rewrite
Yeah.
their stories. Maybe can you share a little bit more about this?
Yeah, because I've had to start over so many times in my life, at least 11 times. And I've spoken to so many of my girlfriends, so many women, I also travel on my own a lot. And I find that when I travel on my own, I end up talking, I like just yesterday, I went for mani-pedi.
Okay.
And I ended up talking with the consultant, the owner of the spa. And I met her in like, yeah, in 5 minutes, we're deep into conversation about our lives, our kids, starting over, how she ended up in Angola. So I've just in talking, meeting, traveling and talking to women, there are so many women who have had interesting lives. And, there are also the others who want to have interesting lives, who want to start over. And I just want to share the fact that it is possible to start over. You don't have to have everything all figured out before you start. And, once you make that decision, once you've decided, reflected, you've decided that it's time to start over, the universe actually supports you. But obviously, you're not going to sit and do nothing. There is, you take your steps and there are certain things that you have to do to make that process easier. But it is possible. And I just wanted to share that. I think that's my mission for the rest of my life, actually, to help women,
Great.
start over, find their purpose and just lead meaningful lives. And the big message is you don't have to have it all figured out from the beginning. It's just not always possible. If you wait to have it all figured out, you'll never do anything, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I
Yeah.
think that's exactly what's stopping a lot of people to start, and
Mhm.
and also when they start, if like, along the journey when they kind of get stuck with something, like was it
Mhm.
writing or monetization or whatever, and then start
Yeah.
overthinking, then they stop. It's just because
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
do it, you figure it out on the way. It's just how it's.
Absolutely. And it's happened to me. I remember, when I took a year off in Senegal about maybe 8 years ago, I was there, I stopped teaching and I went to Senegal. I decided, because I love Senegal. So I decided I wanted to live there. What was I going to do? I wanted to bake because I loved baking. And I said, okay, I'm just going to go to Senegal. I did a little bit of research and I knew a couple of people there, but I still had to go find my apartment and set up and that kind of thing. And I did it for a whole year. And I was there and universe was supporting me. I ended up like within 2 weeks or so, I found a part-time teaching job. Although that was not my aim, it did kind of pay the rent, so it kind of helped. I was there for a year. I really enjoyed it. And at the end of a year, my mind started messing with me. My mind, I'm telling you, I know this. Now that in hindsight, I know what to expect. My mind started messing with me and said, "Oh my God, what if you don't, what if you run out of money type of thing? How are you going to manage without a fixed income?" Those kind of thoughts,
Yeah,
limiting beliefs.
yeah.
So what I ended up doing is it was just a year and I went back to my teaching life, my regular 9 to 5. And here I am again doing the same thing because I knew that I wanted to not do that anymore. I went back to doing it and within, 9 years later, I'm at it again because I know deep down that's not what I want to be doing at this stage of my life. So,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you want to start over, you try it out and you go back. It's not always a straight line process. It's a process with lots of turns and everything. And I'm glad I had that experience because now I know exactly what to expect. I know that at this time, at some point, I'm going to have my mind messing with me, and I know it's going to come, and I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. It's just
Yeah.
actually it's fear which is stopping us from a lot of things.
Absolutely. Yeah. But then there's that mindset, now again, I'm starting over in about 6 months. And again, now and again, these thoughts come in, but I know it's just, pre-adventure jitters. I'm going off on a big adventure. I don't know what's in store. So obviously your mind wants to keep you safe, right? So instead of thinking of it as, a fear, I'm going to call it my pre-adventure jitters, which is normal, absolutely normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. All right. About your Substack, can you share some best practices about growing your
Mhm.
audience? Um,
Yeah, right. That is a work in progress. So one of the things I've learned, and this whole Substack journey has been a lot of learning, a lot of good learning. And as a lifelong learner, I'm a teacher and I'm constantly learning and I love learning. Is that, writing notes every day does help. It really does. I'm surprised at how much it does, right? And there are different types of notes. There are the entertaining notes, they're the notes for education, and they're the notes that contribute to your growth, right? I've learned all of that, and that's fantastic. And yeah, so that's one of the key things that I've learned. And also, growth, I started about 7 months ago.
Yeah.
Growth has been slow, but it has picked up since I've started, being more consistent through the notes challenge on Yana's Substack.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, being, using or writing daily notes, being consistent with notes. I mean, my newsletter is only once a week because that's what I have bandwidth for right now. But I can do notes every day. That's a lot easier than writing a long form post, more than once a week. And I also started a podcast where I share the stories of women who have actually, reinvented themselves, what they're going through, how they did it. And I think that's really important to show women or show people that other people have done it. Everybody's story, everybody's path is different.
Yeah.
And, it depends on what works for you, however, but it's all doable. It's all doable. And I don't, it was Marie Forleo who says everything is figure outable. That's what I have in the back of my mind. Whatever obstacle, you can figure it out. You'll be able to figure it out.
That's an amazing word. I'm gonna remember it now, figure out.
Figure outable.
Yeah,
Exactly. Right.
that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe can you mention some of your greatest challenges on Substack and how did you address them?
My greatest challenges, those posts that you write and like it's just crickets, 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 nothing, no feedback, nothing. And I've heard that, you might write a post today, you might not get any reaction or any feedback, but later on in the future you will. So you just have to keep going. You just keep going. As long as you believe in what you're doing, just keep going. That's really the message. Just keep going. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's
And
brilliant.
I've learned so much. Yeah. In reading other people's Substack, I have just learned so much. And it's a journey. You're not going to get it right from day one. It's a whole process of learning and keep going. And as you keep going, the amazing thing is that you get better. You get better.
Yes, it's a process. And it's not happening overnight. It's a
Mhm.
long game. Substack is a
Yeah.
long, like any
Mhm.
business, by the way. There are some people who really seem to have succeeded overnight, but it's actually a result of years of work and education
Yeah,
and practice.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you don't always see that. Suddenly you see somebody with success and you really don't know what's gone into that. I mean, it's never overnight, but you just never see what's gone into, getting them to where they're at now. It's like an iceberg. You only see the top of the iceberg. You don't see what's below the water, right?
exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Maybe let's deep dive into a little bit of your Substack. So you're building
Mhm.
the community for women over 50 who want
Yeah.
to reimagine their lives and rewrite their stories. And
Yeah.
how does it work? Can you share a little bit more details?
Okay, so I'm trying to build a community because, as I said, there's a whole host of women out there who are in this, who are in the same position. So, I started with threads and discussions. That's going very slowly. I need to be better at that. That's an area that I need to work on for sure. And also another something else that I'm trying to do. There are other Substack newsletters who have the same audience, very similar audience, but their newsletters, they're take a different approach type of thing. So my plan is to, reach out to the writers or, and just do a collaboration. I've done one collaboration with Plus 50 Forward, I think, with Jerry, and that's been good. And actually, at the end of this month, I'm writing a post for the Lemon Tree Mindset.
Yeah,
And looking forward to that. Yes, that's another collaboration. Yeah, so that's been pretty helpful.
great.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. And there are also women on Substack who have actually started over. There are a few of them that I'm planning to have on my podcast as well. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, if they share their stories, it would also
Yeah.
contribute yeah. It's a
Mhm.
great idea, really great
Yeah.
idea.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, there are a whole lot of us over 50s who are doing lots of great things.
Yeah, yeah. Those threads on Substack and also in the chat, I think
Mhm.
community features on Substack are going to be improved. But for
Oh,
now,
okay.
just we could do better for sure. We could do better. It's
Yeah.
just I'm missing
Yes.
this,
Yes. Yes.
and I share this with Substack because they have that feedback chat. Once you become a bestseller, they add you in a group where
Mm,
you ask
okay.
some things, and I share this with them. Because
Yeah.
I'm missing, I cannot organize the chats by topics or something like
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's like
I see.
more of a like just one thread and
Yeah,
that's
that's true. That is true. That is true. So a bestseller is 100 paid subscribers. Is that correct?
a minimum of 100. Yes,
Okay,
yes,
right. Okay. Yes, I have a ways to go.
yeah.
But I'm
It was trying to get there. It's
yes.
really really helps. Okay, what do your paid subscribers get for from your
Yeah.
Substack?
Oh, that's a fabulous question. A couple of years ago, I wrote a book. It's called Unleashed, a solo female traveler's journey to discovery, and that's on Amazon. So they get a copy of that.
Great,
And that book has a collection of short stories, a collection of episodes, well, stories of different adventures, different things that have happened to me as a solo female travel, times when I've gone off to Africa, to the Sahara, in Vietnam all on my own. So they get a copy of that book. And they also get one-to-one coaching, 2 sessions of one-to-one coaching with me. I'm training to be a coach, so that's really good. 2 sessions of one-to-one coaching. And also, I have a book on 50 and Fearless, and it kind of talks about what you need to do to reinvent yourself. And just recently, I've created a framework called Reimagine, kind of the steps, the roadmap that you take to, start over. And I'm about to start what should I say, a cohort on that, a live course on that, maybe a 9-week course. But I need to get ready, get it ready. Maybe February, March, I'll have a test audience, for a couple of weeks. And yeah, but in terms of paid subscribe, what they get is the book. They get 2 sessions, one-to-one coaching with me, and a book on 50 and Fearless, which has to do with reinvention.
great, great. And also your community, is it for paid subscribers or also for free?
It's everybody, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
free.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So and also one more thing, they also get, when I do interviews with women over 50, they get the video of that recorded video, whereas the free subscribers only get the audio. Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
quite a bit actually, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It is. It is absolutely
It's quite a
interesting.
bit. Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually my next question about what do you plan to introduce in the future. So,
Absolutely. A course. I like the idea of a cohort live course because pre-recorded courses are great, but when you want to have a community like 5, 10 women who are on the same journey with you, that is meaningful and it's so comforting, it's meaningful, and it makes your journey so much easier when you're, being held accountable
yeah.
by other people, by your peers. Yeah, that works. Yeah,
How
absolutely.
do you plan to build it, like chapter by chapter? And
Yeah, yeah, because reimagine it's 9 steps, Reimagine. So maybe, one step a week because you need time to actually implement what you learn. Yeah. So we're looking at maybe 9 weeks. I don't know if that's too long, but I'll try it out first and see how it goes. Yeah. And then,
great.
we our community of women. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's great idea. That's what I love also about Substack is that you can build you don't have to have ready-made products in order to provide something
Yeah.
like benefits
Mhm.
for subscribers because you can build them like chapter by chapter and step by step. And
Yeah.
and when they're
Mhm.
ready, then you can really offer them also for free subscribers as one-time product.
Yeah. Yeah. And
It's
I've discovered one of the things I really like, and I find that I take it just happens naturally. As I said, I enjoy talking, one to one, especially with women. I don't know what it is about women, but I just like talking one to one. Women, I just
I
love
can feel
hearing
it.
their
Yes, I
stories.
can feel it. It's really nice talking to you. It's
I
so
just love hearing their stories and just
yeah,
sitting and having a chat. And I think that'd be so exciting if I got to do that like every week, with a small group of women, right? It's going to be a small group. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Interesting, amazing. Yeah, for sure they have a lot to learn from you with all of your overs. Yeah, yeah, you have that experience already. So great.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's
Yes.
gonna be an amazing year, it seems, for your Substack.
Yeah, I really hope so. I made a joke because I was in Fiji for the New Year's and I texted all my friends and said, I'm already in the future and it's looking bright.
Yes.
because yeah, in Fiji they got to midnight before everybody else.
Yeah.
I think it is going to be bright actually. Yeah.
Great.
Mhm.
Looking forward to it. I'm really curious.
Yeah,
Um,
me too.
yeah. But okay, one question. If you had to start all over again on Substack, what would you do differently?
If I had to start all over on Substack, I would definitely start with notes, being more consistent with notes instead of waiting for 6 months to figure that out. I would definitely, and I would, try to post twice a week instead of once a week.
Yeah.
I would start off, with a bigger momentum. But I guess in the beginning, you're kind of figuring things out.
Yes.
So I would be definitely be more consistent with notes and, have a long form post twice a week. Mhm.
It's also what I learned. So if you, the more frequently you post, especially
Mhm.
for subscribers, the more, the better you grow, actually, the faster you grow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
free
Yeah.
subscribers and also paid subscribers. So it's a good learning.
Yes,
Mm.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
So what would you tell people who are just starting now?
To do
Oh,
exactly that.
exactly
They
that.
can.
Yes.
Definitely, notes every day,
Yeah.
two posts, and, perhaps, a webinar once a week or once a month or something visual, something audio where people can actually, get to know you because people need to get to know you. There's so many people out there, and I think what differentiates you from somebody else is, who you are, your real, your authentic self.
Yeah.
I mean, we can write and you can get a feel for the person for the writing, but it just adds another layer when you can hear them speak, see their expression, you can actually, get a feel for their vibe kind
Yeah.
of thing. Right? Yeah,
Exactly.
that's important. Yeah.
Can you share some three books or how many, whatever, how many you got that have significantly influenced your life? I'm sure.
Right.
So,
Excellent question. Okay. At the moment, at the top of my list
yeah.
is The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. Have you read that or have you heard of that one?
Oh, never.
Right. The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins and Everything is Figure Outable by Marie Forleo.
That's, yeah, something I want.
And the third one is The Pivot Year by Brianna Wiest. So, The Pivot Year is a collection of poems or affirmations for 365, one a day. And it really is, as it says, the pivot year. So, it's for people who are about to move into something new to pivot, right? So, it kind of motivates you and it reminds you of things that are just the realities of life. It's really good. She's also on Instagram, Brianna Wiest, so you can look her up as well. She's fantastic and she's
I
quite
will.
young.
I
I
will.
don't know where this wisdom comes from. Some young people have wisdom, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
those are my three. The Pivot Year by Brianna Wiest, Everything is Figure Outable by Marie Forleo, and The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins.
Great. Great.
Mhm.
Amazing. I'm
Yeah,
sure I'm gonna check them out.
I would definitely recommend them. Yes.
Any productivity tips?
Productivity tips. Wow. Yeah, that's a tough one. I've come such a long way with that. I think we were talking before, and I was just saying that I was interested in the whole idea of knowledge management and the tools to best organize myself, with a full-time job and, all this Substack and all this other things on the side and getting ready for the year and all that. But after trying out a whole lot of apps, because I like exploring things, right? So I've tried Obsidian, all these knowledge management apps. I've tried Evernote. But I think now I'm at the basics, Google Docs, Google Suite, Google Sheets, Google Calendar.
Why not?
Come back to the basics, actually. Simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Absolutely. Because I find, as a creator, you've got ideas. I'll be out walking in the mornings, and I'll, something will pop into my head, or I'll just before I go to bed, an idea will pop into my bed. I just reach for my phone and I use notes on my phone. I just write that down or Google Keep
Yeah,
so I can go back to it. So it's important to have something to record those ideas that just pop into your head. And then, keep it simple. Whatever you do, keep it simple. Start with Google Docs, Google Calendar. That's actually quite effective. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
absolutely. I also do this where I get a lot of ideas while I'm doing something else, like for example when I'm
Yeah.
driving or when I'm even in the gym, and then I
Yeah.
I'm sure I have my phone with me so that I can quickly like note it down,
Yeah.
download it
Absolutely.
from my brain, and then come
Yes, yes,
with.
yes, 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 yes. And I've just started recording instead of writing things. As you know, when I'm going for a walk, I kind of do a voice recording and then check back later. No, because with voice recordings now, they can actually do a transcript. So you don't actually, you can actually just do the voice recording instead of writing something down.
Oh, that's even faster, actually. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. There are lots of them. There's voice memo, there's Otter, there's lots of stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I love now about 2025 is there's so much technology. I mean, seriously, we have absolutely no excuse,
Yes,
no excuse about anything.
yes, yes, yes. So many
Something out there to help
opportunities.
you.
Yes, absolutely. So you
Yeah.
can choose whatever fits you and suits you,
There you go.
and just go ahead and do it.
Absolutely. Yes.
Great.
Absolutely.
All
Mhm.
right. Final question.
Yeah.
If money wasn't an issue, what would
Mhm.
you do?
That's a great question. And I thought about that the other day, and I would do exactly what I'm doing now.
That's an
Exactly what
amazing answer. Yes.
exactly what I'm doing now. Writing, traveling, and coaching. Exactly what I'm doing now. Yeah.
Great. So they say that if you answer if you have this type of answer to this question, it means that you're already living a wealthy life, an abundant life. So the
Good to
universe is
know.
helping.
Good to know.
Yes, yes, yes.
To know.
You already
Yeah.
shared that. Yeah, actually, and I think this is one of the things that gives you confidence when you are in
Mhm.
a situation of uncertainty, and you get this
Yeah.
confidence that whatever happens, you're gonna take care of it. You're on top of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is true. It is true. Once and you start moving in that direction, things happen and you feel less anxious. You feel so much more comfortable. Even at work nowadays, nothing bothers me. Nothing flusters me anymore. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Amazing. Great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Desiree, for this session. It was an amazing, and I think people will love it and have a lot to learn from you. And it will be an amazing and exciting year. So looking forward to it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Yana. Thank you so much for organizing your notes challenge. Thank you. It's helped a lot. And
Thank
thank you so much for having me on. I really enjoyed it.
Me too. Me too.
All right. So I'll see you on the stack.
Yes. Join me for a spotlight session like this. All you need to do is to join one of my monthly challenges, either notes or writing. Stay consistent and make sure you add yourself to the accountability tracker. Oh, and you have to be one of my paid members. If you complete just one of those challenges in just one single month, it's highly probable that I will select you for a spotlight session so that you can talk about yourself, share your personal story, and spread the word about your Substack so that more people will learn about it and hopefully become your subscribers. I distribute those sessions to my entire subscriber list on Substack, ConvertKit, NowKit, and my Medium account and my social media channels. It's easy to win those challenges, and all you need to do is just to stay consistent. I see you inside.